Hi, everybody. Welcome. We can switch the correct thingy. All right, there you go. Hey, guys. Welcome to Divine and Conquers Devils of Saltmarsh. Um, how's everybody doing? Don't look at our secret notes over there, where we tell everybody how we plan to take over the world. Um, yes. So, little housekeeping things. We will not have a amazing barbarian, for a game or so. And nor will we have the cutest bunny boy, because one's on a plane and one's across the world. So we have these other beautiful faces to tell these great stories with you today. So yes, oohs and ahs. Announcements. I have them on note cards. The first is go get all the stuff. Go buy Mutant Lands. Go get Dickie's book. Go support it. I hear there's another one in the works, which is amazing. It is dope. Also, on the 14th, we're going to be doing the show. It's going to be in Huntsville, Texas. You should go join us. It's going to be Amazon. I'm going to throw a link in the chat as soon as I learn how to use my computer, because I need to get the correct one and not the incorrect one. But yeah, we'll be doing our first live D&D event. We'll be hosting a show, and also we'll be having some open D&D tables. So if you want to play with some DMs that we have selected to be friendly and inclusive and awesome, please join us, and also come heckle us politely. Don't heckle us impolitely. Does anyone have anything?
How impolite is...
Yes?
How impolite is impolite? Like some light booing.
Yeah, like make me cry, but also make me feel safe at the same time.
Okay,
You know?
okay, yeah.
You know?
We'll have to establish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel
that that's a good boundary.
yeah.
It's right where
Heckling that comes from a place of hate will have you immediately ejected into the Feywild.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also from the bar, because that's what the owner said.
Yep.
He's like, do not.
Can I also be the bouncer that throws people out of...
You were so allowed.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. Please and thank you.
I think you should carry a bat that just says vibe check.
Vibe check, bro.
Yes, please and thank you.
It's a hell of a vibe check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is gonna be a great night. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait. Okay, doke. So, I love how every time I look at Tabby's screen, and I'm just like looking into an abyss behind her.
It's just in Nico's head right now.
Yep, it's Nico's head.
It's so empty.
It's the vast expanse.
Oh, awesome.
So much room
It
for
echoes.
activities.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
Echo. Oh, great. Awesome. We're gonna have a great game tonight. That I took the book, read the whole thing, said, nah, we're doing something else. All right, so let's introduce ourselves. Hey guys, I am Jesus. I'll be y'all's DM. To the this way of me is hey, Tabby, who are you playing?
Hi everybody, I'm Tabatha. I will be playing Nycorath, the half-elven College of Eloquence bard. I almost said druid. Don't know why, but that's not what I am. I am a bard.
Like you're preemptively planning your next character.
Oh my.
Perhaps.
Oh my. Hey,
Are
Jeremiah.
you sure you're not multi-classed?
Nah.
Jeremiah, who are you playing?
I am playing Serena, high elf cleric. I almost said rogue.
Everybody's ready to multi-class.
Just have it locked and loaded.
A high elf cleric of the domain of dirt. and I forgot my fun cup. So I have something else.
You're not allowed to pull that out live on stream.
Oh, okay. I was about to. But what I am about to pull out is, what is Jabba the Hutt's middle name?
What?
The.
He even said it. Look.
Boo.
Yes, I did.
I know.
Oh, where's the boo card?
Boo.
I think I know why I subconsciously said druid. Because my plant needs water.
Stay hydrated, everybody.
Stay hydrated.
Speaking of people that need hydration, hey, Vic, who are you playing?
Bold of you to assume that I'm not hydrated the 100% of the time.
With pickle juice.
It is water is the first ingredient.
Fair.
Hi, I'm Vic. I'm going to be playing Stranger, the tiefling wizard / warlock. I can remember my class, can you? Also, maybe in Nico's case, I don't think it's just that he wants to be a druid. I think he just wants to have a little bit of druid in him.
A
Just tip.
a foxy one.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all,
Yes.
stop. Don't
No.
bully him, please. Don't bully him like that.
You got a nice stick.
Nice.
Beerus isn't here. I have.
What do you mean, beer? Yeah, you gotta pick up the slack.
Oh no, Tyreen's gonna be mean to him. Speaking of,
No, she's not.
hey,
Nobody's here to stop me.
Sid, who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Sydney. I will be playing Tyreen, the elven fighter. No pick on Nico. That's baby.
Hey, baby.
I'm baby.
That's baby. He's a foot taller, but that's baby.
I'm not about to have an AU barista tell me what to do.
Whatever. Let the barista and the car wash boy alone.
Some fanfic that I forgot to read.
Yeah.
Anywho. Let's roll that beautiful Bane footage. Hi, we're back.
Woo.
Alarm scares me every time it rings. Okay. Hi. Let's do a little recap, shall we? So, to recap what happened, as I'm shrinking my notes because I took over the entire screen. Alright, so what had happened was your captain was being bound to the ship as the ghost rammed into the Sea Devil. The Big Sea started facing against the pirates and Captain Snake Eyes as you guys had this epic encounter. After the encounter, you guys took some plunder, found out that there was enough weapons underneath to supply a small army. You guys helped this Doran woman named Elle break free of her bonds. You guys learned that these weapons were going to the lizardfolk tribe that the shark folk, the shark tribes, under the directions of the shark god, were preparing the lizard folks to attack Saltmarsh. And somehow, since this was the ship that had ties to the lighthouse all the way at the beginning, same exact crew that took the ruby from Nico, all this is somehow linked together, but still not understanding what it all means. With the ship completely destroyed, we're making our way to Dunewater in hopes that the lizard tribes will help repair for gold or coin or whatever we can trade. And that is where we left off. And that's where we're going, because we need some repairs. So, gonna put this right here on top of the sheep. With your friend still bounded, and everyone's still working hard on what they need to, as the sea devil is at a dangerous speed, taking in some water. You do see some of the kobolds running down all the way below deck to grab some of the water to scoop it off as they're holding it in their little paws, and just ferociously running up to the top deck to throw it out back into the water. But by the time that they approach above deck, the water is completely spilled out of their hands in their panic, and they're just throwing nothing into the ocean, just getting in everyone's way.
Oh, there's still some droplets in there.
A couple little droplets.
They're helping.
Yeah. Grayson has done all that he could. Is coming down from below. I do have notes that say it's not like that. As all the mending and fabricate spells that he could do that day have been mended and casted. Is there anything that you guys have been doing to assist in repairing this? As I'll say that Beerus is also below deck. I should probably be in the right layer. Patching up as much as he could, just grabbing some of the repair wood, and at least hammer and nail can help somewhat. Not a carpenter himself, but it would help with something. And also, we'll have what? Assist. Anything that you guys would be doing to assist in any repairs or anything that you guys can think of.
I'm helping patch up like holes and stuff.
Alrighty. So as you guys are assisting in patching up some of the holes and the light repairs that need to be done, maybe like an hour or so pass by, and you're not in the risk of sinking, but you're also not in any shape of really sailing anywhere. So dune water it is, right? As this gathers everyone together above ship to have a sort of meeting. Like, all right, everybody, let's discuss what we need to do. So, we can't fix this ourselves, so we're gonna need to talk to the lizard tribes and get some repairs. I'm sure we can accomplish that. Coin or meat, we can trade for that. But the big issue is, well, this is where I'm gonna get Big C over here. I'm gonna get you guys to infiltrate. Do what you guys do best. Get in there and figure out why they want to go to war with Saltmarsh and tell them to not do that. Alright. Simple enough.
I like it. That's very clear. Real point A to point B.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Looks towards the see. That's why we keep the skinny one. Does anyone know how to speak Draconic?
No, but I can pretend to.
I have
No.
comprehend language.
Okay.
Yeah, what he said.
That's gonna that might work for a little bit. Goes over towards Buta. Hey, do you wanna be a translator? You wanna go talk to some people? Huh? Buta just staring blankly at the captain. You wanna go visit some lizardfolk tribes? Doesn't respond. If you do this, I'll give your rabbit some toys and treats. There is this flame that lights behind this lizard folk's eyes and immediately just crawls to the head of the ship. And it just stares back at everybody. I think that's a yes. It's all right. Good talk. I think I'm getting pretty good at this. Goes over to the edge, just staring out into the water.
He's so proud of himself.
Yeah, I did a talk.
I was the diplomatic one for once. I did it.
So it's going to take you maybe 40 minutes to an hour before the ship actually is far enough to lower the anchor. Is there anything that you guys want to do before actually arriving to the mainland? Yeah.
So during the initial repairs, when everybody's busy doing something, I want to make it very clear: Stranger does nothing because,
Of course, yeah.
not his thing. So,
Buddy.
and probably what he's going to do is while everybody's kind of busy, like top deck or like down, like in the brig area, like repairing stuff, he wants to try to do some snooping.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Roll me.
I've lost everybody.
Yeah.
Oh.
I also lost you and Sid. Oh, I got Sid back.
What was it that stranger said? I'm sorry.
R.I.P. to the Wi-Fi users.
I don't know what just happened.
Stranger's gonna do some snooping.
Okay.
So snooping down below.
In the cruise area, where everybody sleeps,
Okay.
specifically through a certain half-elf's bag.
Oh God.
Roll me a stealth and then an investigation.
Let's do this. Do I do D&D Beyond or do I do physical dice?
That's up to you. That's up to you.
My hands are feeling tingling. I think I'm gonna do physical dice.
Do your shiny purple ones.
Honestly,
Okay.
let's do fancy do dice.
They got these shiny purple ones that are like silicone rubber.
Oh,
They're
I'm not
like-
doing those. You know what?
Oh,
I
no,
should do
you're not?
those.
Who would
Yeah, let me use
be
my-
below deck?
Not Nico, if that's going. He's just gonna be
Are we
doing
starting?
one in a
Are we
bomb.
sailing already, or
You've been sailing in slightly repairing, and we're going reversing a
Okay.
little bit back, reversing time a little bit.
I do have one question, Jesus.
Yes.
Is Dis still above deck?
Yes, this will be above deck.
Okay.
So 19 plus 4 for stealth, that's 23. And then you said investigation?
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be. Nope.
Okay. Hello. I just suddenly got messages galore. So that's a let me take a picture of that for you.
Oh no. That's full 20.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is funny
Oh.
because I roll it in a little plastic cage so it doesn't bounce all over my table.
Sounds like you get.
So it's like I have a little Yahtzee cup.
So for a nat 20.
So nat 20 plus 23.
Okay.
Double 23. Gimme.
Normally, what I would want to say would be, "Hey, Tabatha, can you hand him your character sheet?" But you find a nice, very private-looking book.
Mm.
You find sets of clothes, instruments, letters that are very well, nicely organized.
Pudding.
Sorry?
Oh no, sorry. Someone went pudding on Discord.
Oh. Sydney got nerfed.
Uh,
I think she's back.
I think that would be most of the important things you find in his pack at the moment. Because everything else that's important probably be on him.
That's fair. He's definitely going to rifle. Like, are the letters sealed or are they?
Some
just...
are opened. I think maybe one or two might be sealed.
Okay. He will read the open ones. See if it's not something that has already been talked about.
I will let Tabby send you what
Okay.
she thinks would be in those letters.
Right, and then after those letters, he's going to take a look at that book. Just, oops. He's gonna read through the book.
Do I have to send him a specific thing, Jesus?
How long are you gonna be here doing this?
Oh, he's doing a quick skim.
Okay,
So he's gonna like read like the first entry, and then he's gonna like flip to the middle, and then read the last thing that was written. We call that a Sparks Notes study.
roll me percentiles.
Hmm.
The forever makes up my decision percentiles.
Bet.
Tabitha panicking over there.
This is what happens when you got to deal with stranger. He's very nosy.
No. Oh God.
So that is a 19.
I would say, Tabby, if you can, the last thing you wrote, send that. One non-interesting fact, and then one random fact of your choice.
Yeah.
The reason I say question is because the last entry he wrote is very small.
Well,
He read the last line, so whatever the last thing.
I'll give you this. I'm just gonna send it to Vic on Discord.
All right, fair enough.
I realize I spelled a name wrong.
interesting.
So, anything else that you guys would want to be doing? Any more boundaries that we're trying to cross over here?
What their boundaries?
Above deck,
Yes.
I know as we're pretty much heading towards where we need to go, Nico's just going to be kind of fidgeting, and he is going to just make his way over here.
Okay.
And it's like, you see him like open his mouth like he's getting ready to try to start a conversation, but it's like trying to figure out how to start the conversation. And then it's like, I couldn't help but, you have memory issues too?
What? No? The fuck told you that? I'm offended that you would say that.
I mean, you mentioned something about something that you did.
I'm fucking with you. What? Yeah, no, that symbol, I know that I should know it, but it's just like, I just can't remember what it would be. I wouldn't say I have memory issues, I look pretty good, but I'm actually quite old.
Yeah, no, I was just curious because, I also have, memory issues.
Oh, well, I would just want to tweak that sentence to, you have memory issues, but, is that something that you're, trying to fix? Do we need, like, a cleric or something? Because, she's downstairs.
I mean, I don't know, I've been fine so far. It's just, I don't know if it's amnesia or if I just tripped and fell.
Well,
I don't know.
puts.
I was just curious to know what your situation was. But then again, if I'm, broaching on privacy stuff, I don't want to push.
Oh no, I'm pretty open. Usually, unless I'm told that I'm not supposed to be. No, it's like I know I've seen that symbol, but I just don't remember where I've seen it. But it's probably not a big deal.
Okay.
Probably not. Fuck, what if it is?
You guys just like, okay.
Shit, what if it's a really big deal? I just starts muttering to himself, like, what if it's like apocalyptically, majorly important?
I mean, the one weird symbol with the weird barb type stuff, that's kind of concerning. I mean, that one is that chaos thing. Yeah, that's bad. At least in my opinion.
It's bad. They're both bad. Two bad things can't be good.
No, I don't think so.
But two wrong things make a right thing.
I don't know if that's how that
And
works.
sometimes two things is better than one.
I'm not sure if that's an innuendo or not.
And who's in though?
An innuendo.
No, I don't know them.
Okay. Well, this was a great talk.
Yeah. Immediately
I'm gonna
smacks
go.
you in the back, kind of lifts you like 2 feet. Yeah, good talk.
You pat him on the back, but you still somehow knock the wind out of him.
Yeah, good talk.
Yeah. He's just gonna make his way over here.
Okay.
No, Sid.
Sid have issues?
Sid keeps getting yeeted from Roll20.
Oh. Okay. Well, we'll do the best we can. That sucks.
I just saw the GIF.
So as you guys are approaching the island, you can see it in front of you as the anchor gets dropped, and the dinghy gets lower. You see some of the kobolds are being escorted by. I need to change the layer. Tokens. By Nana's like, all right, everyone, come down. We're escorting you out. Like, okay, and start like running into each other. And when Hurricane hits the ground, they all immediately are firm and stand straight. Like, we'll be back probably in 30 minutes or so, and we'll come back for after you guys. So as they go off and let the kobolds into the islands, and as soon as they hit land, you see that they scatter like a cat who's been indoors all day, and as soon as she sees the outdoors, just scatters out. Eventually comes back and picks. For the purposes of this, I'll say that Watts is going to stay on the ship, assisting with any repairs and anything that might be needed, and Beerus will either be accompanying you silently or be on the ship, depending on where exactly we leave off. So, just either Beerus will be where Beerus needs to be, in time for next game. But as you guys also make your way to, I don't have a good place for this, so I guess we'll just move you over here, since we're going over to Dunewater. Yeah. And as you guys are approaching the sandy areas of Dunewater, eventually the dinghy kind of docks, and you guys have Buta with you, making your way down into the area. You see the large jungle in front of you, and Buta just starts making their way, not really talking or wasting any time, just starts. Anything that you guys wanted to do on your way towards the mainland? Or we're just following our compatriot?
Nope, we're just gonna.
Okay.
Well, at least Nico's not gonna say much.
As soon as you guys are heading your way, you do hear some, maybe about 15 minutes or so, walking through the brush. Eventually, you'll see some trails in footprints that look more crocodilian, and Buta starts following those, and you will hear some moving on the brush, and this bullywog just jumps right next to you guys and kind of bounces a little bit. You see that he has some tattered clothes on them, and who would be behind Buta? Who, I guess, would be leading the party behind Buta?
I mean, I guess I'll do it.
Okay. Extends their hand. Hello, Smog.
I will extend my hand.
And after every sentence, you hear this as their throat kind of expands a little bit.
That is delightful.
Like, we got many things for sale or trade. I got eyes. I got a dagger. It shows you a broken dagger. I got coconut. I got water from that coconut. I also got skunk and the skunk's fur. And then I got a jar of larvae. I got a jar of flies and jar of maggots. I got a jar of snails. I got a jar. And then I got a jar of broken jar. You want to trade?
Sure, let's invoke a trade.
Looks very happy. And they don't walk, they hop with you guys. Where
Love that.
Where are you guys going?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention when we were talking about it. I'm just following the big lizard. All right, what can he's gonna dig in his bag and he's gonna pull out the 2 gold teeth. Don't know if I still have that. No, I'm gonna hold on to that neck patch.
Teeth, you say? Eyes and maggots?
You know what? I'm actually really not this emotionally attached. And because, you know, I recognize, game recognizes game. I'm going to throw in this skin flap right here, and he's gonna slap down the piece of neck flesh that he took off of the dwarf.
Extends it and just looking at it, the eyes just moving back and forth.
There's a one-of-a-kind tattoo there, too. You don't really see much like that. I think it's supposed to belong to some pyramid scheme, so, you know.
Scheme.
You can't get to those unless you join them.
Join pyramids. You see the throat just expand again, kind of moving the skin flap a little bit before retreats. Trade?
I believe we have a trade.
Gives you a bag with some decomposing eyes and a jar full of maggots.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Just staring at like, why the maggot?
Goes over to anybody else, like, trade?
No, thank you.
Goes
Thank
over.
you,
He's got
though.
No, I think you'd be really interested in the skunk.
No, I don't think I would.
Do the skunk and the fur come separate, or is it the buy one, get the other deal?
Depends on trade, and then pulls out a skunk and then the skunk's fur.
Love that.
He's an entrepreneur. You know, why give you the skunk and the fur when you can do both?
I like the way he thinks. Yeah. You know, what you really should do is you should also start charging for the vessels they come in.
Oh, he pulls out the jar with broken jars in it. And then, if no one else will trade, he eventually just hops out and then just goes back, just jumps away into the brush.
Ranger will be counting his eyeballs and his maggots to see how many he has.
For eyeballs, roll me a d6.
Oh, excellent. Come here, little pretty. That is a 5.
5 eyeballs.
5 whole eyeballs. That's a very small bag of eyeballs.
Yeah. And for your maggots, roll me 3d20s.
Oh. We're getting real fancy today.
I could have just said percentiles, but I could, nah. Let's do some weird shit.
Ooh! I got 2 17s and a 20.
That's quite a bit of maggots.
Oh.
That's
That's numbers.
54 maggots.
Thank you.
Maggots.
Oh my god, that's pretty good. It's pretty good number of maggots.
That's a very hefty amount of maggots.
Now,
Perfect.
what are these maggots? What are they gonna be in a couple of days? Oh.
Oh, days. All right.
Be interesting.
I should ask Spitz if he's making anything with rice today.
Yes. Yes. eventually you guys are leaving
Forbidden rice.
the forbidden rice. The area and the jungle is starting to become more humid. The earth is starting to become more muddy, and then slowly the mud starts to become thicker and more watery. And you start entering the bog and the swamps. The mosquitoes start becoming an incredible nuisance. As lizard folks have incredible thick skin, so they're not worried by the mosquito problems. But you guys, that's y'all's problem. And the closer and closer you guys get to your location, the fauna seems to be lessened and lessened. Almost like they're being repelled by it until you reach this gigantic maw. And this is a stone maw that is resembling that of a gigantic lizard. And as it's like the brush kind of opens up from these gigantic banana leaves, you will see 3 lizard folks already with bows and arrows pointed at you guys. And they are speaking something in Draconic. And you just hear and Buta just looks at you guys and then just starts walking back the way you guys came from.
I take it we're leaving.
Tabby, if you said something, we can't hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Beating.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, so we came and now we're leaving? What?
Buta looks at you. They say we're not allowed inside.
Why?
We're not part of the tribe. The 3 still have their bows pointed at you guys.
What qualifies us to be part of the tribe? Do we have to lay an egg?
Turns around, starts walking back, speaking Draconic with them. And eventually you'll hear that they both will start switching to common. And you'll see the Buta looks at you guys. Captain wants the Smoothskins to talk to the Queen. Please let them in. And then they're all again pointing the bows and arrows at you. Only members.
Members of what?
Members of tribe.
Become a member of the tribe.
You see Buta's tail kind of wagging back and forth, and like thinking really hard, looks towards you, Nico, and Serena, and Buta asks, "You want children to have treats, right?" Nico, Serena, do you respond?
What does that mean?
The children get treats if we accomplish our mission. Do you want the children to have treats?
Yes. I know I'm now knowing that they're referring to the
rabbits, yes.
Those are
That's-
babies.
That's how Buta will
Babies.
refer to the rabbits as the children, yes.
Yes.
You see as Buta extends their entire body as a 6-foot tall lizard folk, now extending 7 feet tall, and expanding every single muscle that they have. If they challenge, You're Mako. You must accept the challenge. And the tribe looks at you guys, and all three of them just start slamming their tails instinctively on the ground, and they lower their bows and start growling a little bit, and some start pounding their chest. And I forgot if this is the correct sound or not, but you start hearing just crocodile growls and roars throughout, and you start hearing more inside the caves.
Oh, darn it, Beth, this is my favorite song.
This is where I ask a weird question. Hey, DM, did we get a short or a long rest?
You guys should have gotten a long rest.
We got a long rest.
You should have gotten a
Oh,
long
fuck
rest.
yeah, time to
Okay.
roll my
I just-
d20s.
Yeah.
I just had.
Yes.
I thought it was just short. I don't have any spell slots. So.
Yeah, you guys should have had a long rest. As Buta says, you must show them hospitality, as Mako has been challenged. And as you see the other lizard folk start speaking in Draconic, the first one, the biggest one, just growls back, and they're almost like barking at each other. And the larger one says, "Apologies, only speak in smooth tongues."
Nico is going to casually cast Comprehend Language.
You cast comprehend languages. You got that. The smaller lizard folk doesn't speak common, so the larger one was basically chewing them out for not accepting the challenge of hospitality.
Since now that, because I didn't know if we had long rest, I didn't have any spell slots, but I guess I am casting tongues because we don't have anybody who spoke.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yeah, he can understand it. He just can't speak it.
Okay. As you cast tongues, the larger lizard folk, as they're speaking in common, but it kind of sounds a little bit more elven to you, Serena, here and there. It says, "As Mako has been accepted, and we accept your challenge. You must now walk with us. We will talk the smooth skin tongue. You will live with us. You will eat with us. You will sleep with us. Until we determine if you can speak with the queen." And you see Buta walking away. And just looks at you guys. Remember, children need snacks. Starts walking slowly away. Back towards the ship. And I'm going to show you guys the lizard folk camp. Oops, that's the wrong area. So such an incredible, gigantic area that I don't like how the book did it. Because the book just expects you to sneak in and fight fucking everybody, not expect there to be any consequences. So as you're entering here, essentially, you guys can do whatever you want in the tribe. You have been accepted as kind of a guest members. You tell me what you really want to do. For the next couple of days, the lizard folk are going to accept you in their homes, in this gigantic maze of a cave. They'll be making jewelry, mud fighting, reinforcing the walls, skinning last night's hunt, There's also feeding the Minotaurs, these giant dinosaurs with fins on their back, as those are their primary pets. There's also feeding the children, education of the children. There is finding herbs for the shaman, practicing medicine and using said herbs with the shaman, fixing any broken tools, making food, entertaining the kids, seeing if any new eggs hatched that day, any help that anyone needs primarily. But you guys need to show that you guys are cool. Today's mission is vibe check, yo.
Yeah, that is actually what I'm gonna be doing with when you said like kind of towards the last part is because of my specialities. I will be helping them with when some eggs hatches. I will help them with keeping the babies healthy or being basically like a helper to the shaman for medical purposes and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
And also helping with, I learned this from The Last of Us, but helping with dressing the meat, the hunt.
Okay.
Because I'm used to Spitz cooking, so I was like, let's make sure they're not getting sick from their food.
You'd be surprised at what a lizard can eat.
Yeah, with without Spitz knowing, I'm secretly making sure that it's not diseased, the food that he's cooking.
Understood.
While he serves to people.
Every day that you guys are doing stuff, I am going to be taking that skill and accumulating as points. So, Serena, can you please make me a medicine check?
Yeah, that is my specialty. That's my highest stat. Dirty 20.
Nice. All right. So you'll be primarily doing that, making sure the hatchlings are. As now you can tell why the image that I can't show today was there. One of the hatchlings hatching, and you guys are primarily taking care of that. When the hatchling does actually hatch, it's very important situation. Everybody gets called, and actually whatever you guys are doing, you will be grabbed and forced to move into this cave, into this part, which would be here. And on this day,
I didn't see a dot here where.
Oh, it's not shifting. 40.
Layer check.
Yeah. Is it layer check? It is layer check.
Oh yeah, 40.
Yeah.
At the towards the middle.
Yeah. Every single person in the area, every person in the tribe must physically touch the new hatchling. You must bless the child that's coming into the world. And once the new lizard folk is born and you carry it in your hand, it's 13 pounds. It's a hefty egg. And they're actually very, very bright green, soft leathered skin, and their nails are quite sharp. But as they're being passed around, does anyone not choose to hold the child?
If they're telling us to do it because it's part of the ritual and we want to be part of the tribe, blah blah, blah, I will be doing it.
Okay. Just want to make sure. What about the rest of you guys? What would you want to be doing on this day?
like, what are the things that we're going to be doing to try to get brownie points with the tribe, or...
Yeah, I mean, anything you can. These are just some of the most noticeable things, but you could really do whatever you want.
I guess I'm going to do glorified babysitting, so I'm going to entertain the kids.
Okay. Do you want to do a performance for them, like play a little bit of
Yes.
music? Awesome.
Nico would normally pull out his taggle harpa, but he's going to just keep that on his back and then pull out from his pocket his jaw harp,
Okay.
and he's going to play that.
Dope.
So that's a 19. I rolled a 19, so that's a 29.
Oh, 29. Let me add that number to the list. No, not 29. Space. Okay, there we go. Pretty good, solid numbers. Right off the
29.
bat. Okay. As you start playing your instrument, a lot of them just start getting really entertained. Like, what is this magical sound that's coming? Some of them even start trying to like crawl up to you, start like touching your face. Like, what is happening? Since you have your comprehend languages up, you're like, you hear some of the children like, "Why is your face so smooth? Why do they smell like food, but they're not food?"
That about my face?
Yes. Why is your face so smooth? Why is that sound coming from you? And why do you smell like food? But they're very entertained. You see the relief on some of the older kids. You're like, I don't want to do this, but I'm like stuck here today. So you're becoming quite popular. And also with the 29, you would have killed it at any performance, but you're in a society that doesn't... Music isn't high on the priority of things.
Keeping the kids entertained.
But you are keeping the kids incredibly entertained, yes.
Mm-hmm. And with the comprehend language, he would try and best, like, I guess, broken common, trying to explain, oh, well, the sound is made by this part, vibrating as I, use the jaw harp and whatnot. So,
you'll see that one of the children like a little bit rudely grabs it from you, and you will see much larger lizard folk kind of approach rapidly and just stand over them, and then the lizard folk this child kind of grabs and gives it back. And with the comprehend languages, as they're speaking in Draconic, even though they're not supposed to, you hear what are our bylaws. Like, fairness must be upheld. Don't prey on the weak. And then the bigger one kind of walks back and sits down. And then a little bit like wounded and hurtful pride kind of sits in the back, and as the other kids are like either in Draconic or common, just say make sounds.
Yeah, which before he does that, it's like, and the reason my skin is smooth is because I'm a half elf, and then he'll kind of go back to the
you will
harp.
Hear that the most common way that you will all be referred to is as soft skins or smooth skins, just because they can't tell you all apart. I mean, who can really? Tyreen or Stranger, what would you guys be doing? What do you guys want to do?
Tyreen, you can go first because I already did some shenanigans earlier.
Yeah, true. Since I just see the image, I can't really see if she's about to speak or not.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't get my phone to unlock so that I could unmute myself.
Understood.
Tyreen would probably mostly just be kind of hanging around, helping wherever people really need the help, or I don't know if they needed people to help with like
teaching other people self-defense or whatever like that, Tyreen would kind of volunteer to teach
There
them,
are
like if they need any of that.
there are the mud pits where a lot of the lizard tribe are fighting, and it looks to you like general wrestling, but the more and more you pay attention to it, the more it is a form of cathartic aggression being released, intention being released from the tribe, but it's also being used as a tool for self-defense. And you're like just watching them, just a couple of matches, you're like, oh, that's an interesting way to do things. That's a aggressive and fast, and it's they use their bodies in ways that you would like, that is too risky for me to like ever try that. But eventually they're like, the one like grabs you by the hand, and they look for someone who is your same height to match, and they ask if you want to go around.
Tyreen will kind of hesitate and be like, sure, I suppose so.
And mind you that they have no weapons.
That's fine.
They have no armor, no weapons, no nothing. It is just tail and fist.
Okay, so no armor, no weapons.
Yeah. Would you make me an athletics check? I think would be the best skill for this situation. Unless you can think of something else.
I think athletics would probably be the closest, yeah. Oh, what was the natural 20 for 26?
Oh, nice. With the 26, let me just in case it... What a plus 3, was it 18? Still pretty high, but not a 26. God damn, guys. Alright, I already passed the fucking number I needed for the day, but still. Don't forget that, Tyreen, you also get a fucking advantage token used by the end of the day. As they're strong, they're aggressive, they are definitely using their strengths for their advantage, but they're only used to fighting their own kind. They're used to someone bum rushing. They're used to someone using aggressive tactics. They don't really know what to do when someone's patient. They don't really know what to do when someone knows how to sideswipe. They don't really know what to do when someone baits. Because they're for the hunt. They're for the kill. So by you outsmarting, outspeeding, and forcing them to make very simple mistakes, you're teaching them this is what you do in this situation. And then by an hour or two, you have almost every single warrior there just in a circle in the mud pits, listening and engaging with you. Pretty good. It's pretty... Stranger. What do you want to be doing?
So, as we know, any good basis for society, we need to figure out the economy, right?
Of course.
Oh, God.
So, it's the reactions I live for. So, Stranger would be kind of like not nosing around, but like looking and observing and seeing if they have like kind of like how their like bartering system works if they have one, and to see what they value most over other things and what have you.
You immediately and surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, depending on how Stranger wants to look at it, there is no barter system. There is no trade system. There is no system other than this belongs to you or this belongs to the tribe.
Interesting. Very interesting. Because what he wanted to do was he saw, because if he's seen some lizard folk making jewelry, he would want to kind of like opt in on that and like
Okay.
see how that process is being done and if he can like snag a few for himself.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Once you're making some jewelry, some of it either you can take and no one will say anything. And if maybe like, let's say like 40 minutes or so, you don't physically put something on you, one of the female identifying lizard folks will put one on you.
Okay.
Give me a. Do you have a jeweler's kit or anything associated in that?
I do not have a jeweler's kit. I only have a disguise kit and a forgery kit.
Give me a dexterity or a wisdom check, because both of those could be it. Or any skill that you think, like maybe a sleight of hand.
Yeah, let's do sleight of hand. He's very good at those.
Okay.
Okay, so 14 plus 7 is a number.
21?
Yep.
But ding. Alright, with the fucking flying fucking colors, you guys have made an impression on the tribe today. New ways on how to make new jewelry. Not just the same mundane big item, small item, big item, small item done. Color coding, matching, teaching them how to fight, checking for food and making sure that the child was born healthy, entertaining the children, showing them new music. Before we go on break, and you guys will, yeah, I think this is a good time for that. Yeah. When nightfall happens, you'll see some of the warriors that take the night shift will do perimeter watches, and everyone piles in, surrounding different corridors here and there. But the majority of them that do not have their own individual homes, just go into the hatchery and just sleep there. No blankets, no beds, no nothing. They just a spot on the floor. And since you don't have a home, that's where you're sleeping. A spot on the floor.
Oh, this is really the Ritz.
The next day, as everyone is sharing some raw fish that is being passed around with some filtered boiled water.
Sashimi.
Yeah, nice sashimi. I am going to ask you guys, and if we can't come up with a decision, we're going to roll some dice on how we're going to divide the group, or we're going to split the group. Two go in one direction, two can go in the other direction. So, as in the middle of breakfast, from one end of the cave and then from the other end, you'll see two generals are going to come in, and they're going to say at the same time, kind of mimicking each other, smooth skins. One's going to say funeral and one's going to say hunt. And then they're going to just grab the closest ones. So I'm going to ask, who wants to go to the funeral and who wants to go to the hunt?
Funeral.
Funeral?
Funeral.
Funeral, okay. Is Tyreen...
Also did not hear you, Sydney.
Oh, yeah, Sid,
No.
what did you say?
Here.
Tyreen would want to go to the hunt.
Tyreen hunt. Serena, are you okay with the hunt?
Yeah, I mean, there's already two, so might as well just split it even.
Okay. If everyone's okay with that, that is what we're going to do when we come back on the second day. All right. So, your first night with the tribe, your first day, was incredibly impactful. we'll see how the funeral service and how the hunt go. If you can earn the right to speak with the queen, and see why they want to invade the Saltmarsh. Maybe you can deter them away from that. Alright. We'll be back in a bit. So, welcome back. And as you guys return to my favorite image of the whole game, we're going to pick off with a. Let's see, Sid, roll me any dice. Just tell me if it's even or odd.
Okay.
Wait, who?
Sid. Or anybody. Well, it said Sid.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Odd. Alright. We're going to start with odd funerals. So, who was in our funeral mission? So, Stranger and Nico, that's correct.
Oh, God.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, going to our funeral. As a large amount of the tribe gathers together, they have these decorated beads and shells hanging in chains around their body. They're walking into this thick brush with full of willow trees and hanging vines until they find this circle clearing that has these very thick logs that have they look like they've been there for a while, since you see moss and mushrooms already growing from it, but recently there have been some sticks and pyres that have been put on top of it as the body is being moved slowly over their heads, kind of being passed around from lizardfolk to lizardfolk, being dragged into set location. The water that you guys are in is about 5 feet tall, fairly warm water too. And as the lizardfolk are putting the deceased body on the pillar of sticks and log, you see that the shaman starts walking by and starts praying and muttering small words onto themselves, shaking their fins here and there, and walking to every single person that is attending this arrangement, until they walk to you guys and speak in common. Something for the passing to the afterlife. And they extend their very thin, clawy hands.
Nico.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. You were saying?
It'll say, as you kind of look, you start seeing that some of the lizard folk are putting either on top of their body or like next to on the piles of sticks. You see some things as simple as stones or like daggers or spears or simple weaponry. Something that are fruits, maybe pieces of jewelry. Nothing overly complicated or expensive, but all useful items.
Nico is going to take his one dagger that he has on him and will place it on.
See that the shaman kind of bows their head and passes it to those that are next to them, as it starts being passed back and forth until it reaches the pillar and then goes over to you, stranger. Something to pass for the afterlife.
Yes, I think I might have something, and he's going to dig through his bag for a minute, and then he's going to pull out a potion of healing and hand it to the shaman.
Excellent. And goes over and puts that potion of healing. Make sure that the lizardfolk has it clenched into their hands, and it's right in the centerpiece. As since it's a magical item, you see that most of the other things are being scooped around, making it the focus of this ritual now. As simple prayers are being said, and some are muttering to themselves and giving offerings themselves, is there anything that you say, any prayers that you want to say? I mean, you've never met this individual before. You didn't even know this was happening until 10 minutes ago. But anything that you wish to do in this ceremony?
The most part observing, but it's just kind of like, well, I guess whatever. I hope they end up wherever it is that they believe in.
Alright, yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Mentally to himself, I'm not the religious type.
Yeah, understood. Stranger.
Stranger will, he's gonna just, like, make up some hand gestures, just, like, here and there. Just like, you know, take it sleazy.
And you see the shaman goes towards the center, kind of like preaching towards everyone. As you're giving you a second to do your part right in the ritual. Everyone gets their time to shine, and as the shaman says, we protect our body. Sorry, the body of decay. We protect the body of sickness, and may it pass strength on to us. And then many lizard folks start gathering closer and closer and closer, as the shaman is muttering to themselves, kind of praying up in the air. And all the lizard folks are getting very close, and it starts almost kind of looking like a mosh pit's kind of pushing each other forward a little bit, and you can't even see the body anymore. But you do see this clay bowl being passed around as the commotion stops. And every lizard folk is taking a drink from it. As when it passes on to the shaman extends it to first you, stranger.
Hell yeah.
You take a sip?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. It tastes a little salty, a little metallic. Passes it towards you, Nico.
I think I tasted something like this out of a thermometer once.
Nico's not gonna be rude. He'll drink.
Okay. Again, a little salty, a little metallic. You might be wondering what you're drinking until you see a little bit of red kind of leave your lips, and it's very, it's a little warm.
Viscous.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm.
I do need you guys to roll me Constitution saving throw,
Excellent.
Oh boy,
as you
what is
guys
my con?
are drinking blood from a deceased individual.
Ooh. And it's still warm.
There is some
What an
magic
honor.
being placed on it. They are trying to make sure the body is not decaying as fast.
That's an 11.
11. Okay, Dad, you needed a 12.
Fair.
Oh no,
What'd you get, Nico?
I'm about to post it.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, buddy.
Did you get a nat 1?
No.
Oh, good.
Okay, the opposite end. All right.
Yeah.
That's
natural
excellent.
Okay,
20.
we'll get a,
Good for
get a
you.
little token. Well, since it is
It's
an
a
11.
21.
Okay, good. Good. All right, Nico, you're like, oh, all right. I mean, you don't know if Stranger is acting this way because he's getting involved in the hype of the ritual, but Stranger, you do get a slight high off of the blood.
Ooh.
You get a very relaxed body high from this.
Oh my god.
So we'll play that as you will. Again, the shaman takes a sip from it, finishes the last bit of the blood that's being passed around, and they say, "May your strength help us, and may your body nourish us." And as soon as they say that and crush the clay bowl, a fucking brawl emerges, and that lizardfolk body is being torn to pieces as every lizardfolk there is biting and tearing the flesh off of that lizardfolk. You see a three-way fight between the three largest individuals there, fighting over the heart. The second individuals, the second pit of biggest individuals are fighting over the brain and the liver, and they're just frenzy. And a couple of minutes before it just dies down into lizard folks just eating their deceased. Nico, stranger, what are you doing?
So is every bit gone, or?
You'll see something in a minute, but before
Cool.
that happens, is there anything that you guys like, initial impressions or anything before a little thing happens?
Oh, Stranger's so into this.
Okay.
He's gonna just slot a hand over Nico's shoulders and just like drag him into his stench.
Yeah. Yes, stranger.
This is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in my life.
I guess. I understand that everyone has different practices.
Are you having fun right now?
It's a learning experience.
When you say it's a learning experience, you see the shaman goes over to you. I don't know why the smooth-skins bury their dead. It's so barbaric. So
That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys really have it made.
So unkind. So cruel.
So wasteful.
You let your dead become rot and diseased. It's inhumane.
Yeah, how could you do that, Nico?
Nico opens his mouth and just closes it.
From a lizard folk's perspective, you're choosing to let your dead become devoured by lesser creatures and become diseases and rot and humiliated.
Look, when it's time for your grandma to go, I think you should eat your grandma. It is the only way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
It's not my practice, but I know certain people bury the dead to give nourishment to the soil. But
And
that's some druidic practices.
when you say that, there is a nod of like, understand. There's a, like, alright, I understand that point. I do understand that one. The civilized coffins. And he kind of turns away. Like, that's what the issue is, right? You see the small lizard folk that took away your instrument comes by and presents part of a leg. Nico.
Oh, lovely.
And between you and Stranger, and the child says, parents tell me it's important to feed the weaker ones of the tribe. We must all become strong together.
I love how they're basically like cats that think that we can.
I love it.
I am so very touched right now. I just might cry, actually. Oh wait, that's an eye booger. Never mind.
So, yeah, this small lizard folk presents you part of the leg of the deceased lizard folk.
Sure to go.
Oh,
I don't
absolutely, I will.
I don't think my teeth can break the skin.
That's what knives and forks are for. They'll understand that you need a little help.
My incisors are not as long.
If only the priest was in this funeral.
She'd be seasoning it with dirt.
Oh my gosh, she would
Right?
be.
He does have one
Yeah.
question though. If the shaman is
Dirt
nearby,
Yeah, someone will be
Dirt Bay.
nearby.
what do you do with the bones of the deceased, if I may ask?
They go to the closest kin, or use as weapons.
That is so smart.
I was just curious to know.
Sometimes we use it for paint.
Very nice.
Yeah, Nico's letting Stranger go first,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're doing
as we
this.
psych ourselves up for what we are about to possibly do.
Okay. Lizard folk is very very firm. Tastes a little bit like quail, if you ever had quail.
That's interesting.
Slightly fishy.
Doesn't taste like gator.
And very chewy, which apparently gator tastes like fishy quail.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. So
When you put it like that, I'm like, oh my god, it does.
Yeah.
It's gator. Yeah.
yeah. So So you're tasting gator without me saying gator. And the chewiest, hardest, firmest thing you've ever eaten in your life. But the lizard folk are devouring it like no other. It's they're eating fine steak if you've ever seen it. Dissolves in their mouth. So, Stranger had some. Nico, do you have some?
Stranger smiling at Nico while he's still got the blood in his teeth, like.
God. Nico's just like, yes, I will, and he will indulge.
He's gonna do a Squidward bite.
No, he'll bite.
Okay.
Ooh.
Again, very firm, super chewy, and tastes like gator. But since you both partook, I'm going to put 10 more points into the pool for today.
Oh.
So that's an additional 20. As you guys are celebrating in the camaraderie of the ritual, we're going over to the hunters. So, Tyreen and Serena, you see that everyone's gearing up, getting their turtle shields and getting their spears and swords and clubs. Is there anything that you guys need to do to prepare before you go to the hunt?
If they're armed, Tyreen will put her armor and everything on.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't allowed to wear this in the mud pit, but I guess this is a little different.
You see that one of the lizard folks with the largest and more colorful fins approaches you. We are hunting the three-headed beast today. Their territory has been expanding more and more into our swamps, and tonight we will eat their flesh.
Three-headed.
Ask the person that was talking.
Mm-hmm.
And just ask, is this hunt more of a kind of extermination in some way, or is this for food or whatnot?
Food. But we're going to use opportunity of great warriors to hunt someone who's been taking our territory.
You said a three-headed beast. What specifically does it look like? I mean, obviously it has 3 heads, but like, any other specifics for what it looks like?
It is a dragon with a snake and a hippo.
Alright.
And if you guys want, you can roll me a knowledge arcana or a knowledge nature.
Sure. 19.
Okay.
I'm going for nature because it's the same anyway, but 12.
12. Serena, like, I know that it's broken common, so maybe there's something lost in translation. And Tyreen, did you roll nature or arcana?
Arcana.
Arcana. Okay. That three-headed. Are they talking about a chimera? That sounds like a chimera.
Ooh.
Tyreen will kind of sit there and like aside to Serena and be like, I think they mean a chimera. Like, that's the only way that that kind of thing can exist, right?
I think so. This hunt seems a little bit more dangerous than I thought it would be, but we'll be fine. Then I'll equip my sword and shield instead of a bow, because I thought we were like trying to be sneaky, hunting deer or whatnot, kind of like that, you know?
Yeah. It would have been something like that, but Tyreen got a natural 20 and impressed the entire tribe, so we're bumping it up to let's hunt the chimera that's been taking some of our swamp for the past couple of generations.
Tyreen blew the curve for the whole class.
Yep. Yes. You can't get an A+, Tyreen. You fuck it up for the rest
Right.
of us.
I'm
So,
sorry.
for this hunt, I am going to ask you guys to do me a skill challenge.
Oh, okay.
And I am going to ask for 3 passes before we get 4 failures. So,
Okay.
what are we going to do for this hunt? Because you guys outnumber the Chimera. It's a good
Right.
20, maybe 25 or so lizard folk joining you guys in it. You guys can track it, you guys can ambush it, but what is y'all's specific involvement in this process? That's what I want to know.
Maybe I don't really have like prayer or anything, but I want to touch the dirt and just pray, I guess.
Sure.
Maybe religion or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, you can-
Because I don't have that commune spell or whatnot.
Okay,
yet.
yeah, 100%. You
Yeah.
can roll me religion.
Just to pray to see. Like, hey, can you help me out? 19.
19. Okay.
Nope. Dirty 20. I rolled a 19.
Oh, understood. Okay. That is a success for sure. As you pray, you see that slowly throughout the day, it almost feels like the dirt is slowly moving away, almost like kind of making a path, like the moisture is leaving the areas on the left and making it more solid on the right, so you and Tyreen can have an easier path, and the lizard folks have since they're faster on water and you guys are faster on land, you can actually keep up with each other. It's almost like making the terrain almost split evenly between both of you guys, and making the path a much smoother transition. Tyreen, what do we got?
Tyreen would be. I think she'd be really focusing on like tracking what they're looking for because she thinks this is interesting.
Yeah. Give me a survival then.
Okay. Well, good things come to an end. That's a 6.
Ooh, 6 total?
Yeah.
Oh no. As you guys are making your way and you are tracking, and you're pretty sure you're doing a good job. Eventually, as you think you found the lair of this chimera, and you do, but when you turn back to announce to the tribe that you did find it, you step on a branch. As the twig breaks, you just see the large winged chimera, and yes, the center head is of a hippo, the side head is of a large snake. As the snake kind of rears over to take a bite, and you can tumble out of the way. You see the other side is that of a black dragon, as it just kind of flies out, and your search has to start all over again. Serena. Or Tyreen again, since we're starting from the top.
Yeah, Tyreen would kind of be like, shit. And get up and immediately start kind of running the way that it flew,
Okay.
trying not to lose it.
Alright. That sounds like an athletics then.
Yep.
Give me a roll.
21.
Ooh, that is definitely a success. And as you catch up to it, your momentum is definitely encouraging the lizard folks, and as you're kind of breaking the path, there's no need to be silent now. Your focus is to follow it. They are following behind, and they are since silence is not the issue, they're just following, and we're tracking it down. Yes, it has the advantage since it is flying, but it's not the best flyer. Chimeras are experimental creatures, so sometimes they're not built the best way. Serena, what do we got?
How far is the chimera?
I'll say like currently maybe 80 feet or so away. So it's far enough that it's a distance and you can lose it, but like you can still have you still see it. It's right there.
Yeah. I don't know if you're looking at my camera, but when you said 80 feet, my face was like.
Yep.
Because of the domain of dirt,
Uh-huh.
I have a given spell that is always prepared. Casting a spell.
What are you casting?
And you need a strength saving throw. Hopefully it fails, but I am casting Earthbind.
Earthbind. All right. So roll me an Arcana with advantage. Since we're doing skill challenges and you're using a spell, I'm going to give you an advantage on it. And I'll determine that.
19.
19. That's definitely a success. As the you see the earth moves over and starts grasping onto the creature, as it grasps onto the legs, and then it's almost like these because it's a swamp, I'll say it's muddy, like hands start grabbing onto it, and the mud starts caking onto the wings and just becoming slower and slower before it just kind of collapses onto the ground. And it's not like a barbaric thing. It's smooth, fast. Stab. Is it dead? If it's not, then go again. If it's not, then go again, and wait until it's actually dead, and then bind it. And as soon as the hunt's over, just walk back. No celebration, no cheer for excitement. Just the job is done, and we walk back. And we're getting an additional.
So we killed it.
So you killed it, yeah. It's 27v1. You were gonna eventually win.
Yeah. Even if all the lizard folks like do 1 damage per round, that's like 27 points per round.
Which, yeah, you know, it's D&D is yeah, it's we're trying to it's a tool to try to translate a story, right? It's not just necessarily like, you know, we're doing the best that we can. And as the hunt comes back and celebration happens, which the celebration is just cooking and skinning the meat.
I'm sprinkling it with dirt.
Sprinkling some dirt on it, making sure it's nice.
To rid of it of disease and poison.
Rid of disease and poison. Like I mentioned earlier in the break, which wasn't live, we are doing these skills, and I'm trying to accumulate 50 points at the end of the day. And if we do get those 50 points, that is a successful day. So 10 points here for each player. So we're at 40 right now. And the rest of the day goes pretty successful until you guys come back and you guys kind of meet almost at the same time. You hear word, because word travels fast. There's real no need for subtlety, because information is important. If one knows, all should know. The Shark Tribe is coming. Shark Tribe is coming to negotiate. And word spreads fast when you guys arrive. And eventually someone will ask you if you guys want to be part of the negotiation. And this will be the last little bit. If you guys are successful, we give you guys an additional 10 points.
I mean, I suppose we can
Yes, we.
Stand thin.
Yeah.
Okay. As night starts falling, you guys get hauled to the move map over here. To a little zoomed in way too much. To this part of the map, where from this entryway is where the Sharkoneries are are coming
The
in.
name of the leader, Shark Connery.
Shark Connery, yeah. And this should be a little different. Let's go with you. As you see, as the news is traveling fast, a fin, a blue fin, very iconic tattoo of a shark, just kind of swims by. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fins just quickly before this very large, brooding 6-foot individual with these jagged shark-like teeth and 4 arms appears in front of you. Behind them are other fish-like individuals, but only 2-armed, all wearing armor plating, spears, tridents. Some have nets, some wearing leather, some wearing breastplates, and they just look at you guys and then look at the lizard folk and immediately just speaking in Draconic. And then the did any of you guys for any chance cast tongues or comprehend languages this day? You did?
Nico would have.
Okay.
Yes.
Then you would hear that.
I guess important meetings I would cast tongues.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Just because we're explaining this in 12 seconds to a minute, but it took you guys 20 minutes to get here, so you have definitely time to prepare. As the as it's hard to pronounce these names, Sharkoneries. Shaka Khans. You hear this as scaled brothers, scaled siblings. I see you have new siblings, new prisoners, or is this lunch? And you'll see the larger of the individuals of the lizard folk in common say, "No, smooth skins are here as part of Mako. They are part of tribe for today. They're walking our mud waters." And you hear in common the Baron, "They're walking your mud waters now? The smooth skins are taking your trees, and now you're letting them freely walk in your waters. We kick him out of our salt. We make sure that our god is pleased. We don't let any of the smooth skins near our oceans, and we make sure that our children are protected. I hope that you will also do the same. Why are you letting the smooth skins take more and more and more from you? You won't have a swamp left. Their territory is expanding. They keep making those wood shelters. They keep making brick shelters. They're going to take your swamps. They're going to take your mud. They're going to kill your children. But let them into your
Nico-
tribe. Mm-hmm.
No, hearing that, Nika's just kind of like looking down, just like, but he's kind of keeping quiet, just.
But it's fine. Let them into your tribes. See what they do. See if it's worth the risk. And you see that the Baron is looking around. And either mad or confused. There are... I heard you were getting a shipment. Did you not get a shipment? And then the lizard folk looks confused. We did not get shipment. And the shark tribe looks back. The Baron looks back at the other ones. A little angered. Huh. That's... Apologies, I thought you were getting a shipment of something. I saw a ship sailing by to your waters. I thought you were getting a shipment of something. Could be my mistake. Anything that any of you guys are doing as they're having this conversation?
We're just mentally thinking. Don't open your mouth. It's not your place to talk. Don't open your mouth. It's not your place to talk.
Yeah, Tyreen's like, oh, that shipment. No, being quiet. We don't know anything about that. No.
Okay. You'll see a seventh individual swimming incredibly fast, tired, just onto the surface. And you do have comprehend languages and you have tongues casted, right? Okay.
Yes.
You see this, and they are speaking in... I'll say Undercommon for now because I actually do not know what their native tongue is. I think their native tongue is their... Is this Sharkon? Shark speak. Sure. So they're speaking in their own tongue. And the lizard folk immediately get upset. This is negotiation. We all speak language we all understand. And then all the lizard folks are incredibly pissed. We all speak language we all understand. And then they start grabbing their spears, like, because they're speaking in a language that they do not understand. But Nico, Serena, the lighter of the shark tribe members goes up and kind of just almost like a dolphin just swims up, tumbles, and immediately goes to the Baron, the one with the forearms. I really want to get an image so you guys can look at what these guys look like, because I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. Baron Sharkons. Yes.
And just letting you know, Jesus, I did send you a message too.
Oh, okay. Let me read that. That's a little important. That's up to you. Maybe the Baron, but that's up to you. And that might be a stretch. I'll try to find an image in a second because I'm not having any luck. As you hear the lighter individual, the messenger, Baron Captain Snake Eyes has failed us. You see the Baron responds. Tell me about the orc then. Tyreen, you hear something that you don't need translation for. Satsin couldn't, and then this is back to shark language, couldn't do it. The Emperor Waves has also been lost in the ritual. That's 2 failures. Report back. And you see the Baron looks back in common. Apologies. Does not know our ways. That's why I sent him back. Keeping things proper. You see the lizard folks immediately calm down. The lizard folk look at each other, keeping things proper. Keeping things proper. Well, I just wanted to warn you all that please heed my advice. Don't let the Smoothskins take more of your land. If you ever need help, all tribes are just a swim away. Our God will welcome you. Don't let them poison your mind. Staring at all 4 of you.
Hearing the name Stassen, Tyreen obviously, yeah, she doesn't understand what they're saying, but she's gonna look at Nico and Serena and be like, he said Stassen, what did he say?
What was it?
Stassen couldn't do it. The Emperor of Waves has been lost in the ritual.
So Nico's going to repeat that, to Tyreen.
Yeah, so Serena specifically is trying not to talk, because if she says something, the shark folks will know that was like, hey, she can speak our tongue.
Yeah, well, Nico...
She just heard everything that we were talking about.
Yeah, Nico is going to just kind of like mention it to... Yeah, just look to Tyreen and just repeat.
When
Lost.
That happens, you see that the Baron smiles, and you see the 4 rows of teeth inside, and just this kind of bark in their native shark tongue, and you 2 hear that he says go, and all 6 of them get into the water and leave. And the lizard folk are... That was weird. No trade today. Just more words. Shark people like to speak words.
Looking off in the direction that they go, and it's like, that's interesting that they say about what they say about what they have issues with Smoothskins.
Yeah. They live in the ocean, and Smoothskins tend to have much wars with them.
Interesting, when I have heard of some Smoothskins who do worship their deity.
One of those like, alright, I'm hungry. And then he starts walking like, this is... You can all tell that the lizard folks are being used, 100% manipulated in the situation. But they don't even know what they're being tried to be played with.
So, yeah, while that's going, I guess as they're talking, Nico would just kind of like turn to like, I guess, follow back with them. Yeah, but, I mean, before that, just looking at Tyreen like, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I heard the name.
Ooh, is this a boyfriend?
No. And Tyreen will literally just no, shut him down and walk off.
I
Nico's
smell
just-
Brahma.
Okay, I'm going to give her space. But kind of also again following in line with the other lizard folks, it's like, have they been constantly trying to badger you all with trying to start war with Saltmarsh? Or
This
Just
been
others?
recent. It's been it's been going on since before my time, but recently the request has been more and more demanding, quite annoying. They care more about our well-being than we do.
they are wanting you all to act and start a fight that apparently you all don't. They're wanting you all to start a fight almost as if for them. At
Start
least that's what it sounds like to me.
fight with them? Like you confused.
Nico using comprehend language, looks to Serena. It's like, can you help kind of translate for me, I guess? It sounds like they're wanting you to start something that you all have. You're just living your lives here.
That's what the Baron looks like in the other
Okay.
Shawigans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
We live here, we stay here. We defend our caves. We defend our mud.
But
They left already, right?
Yeah, they left. They
Yeah.
as soon as Nico and Tyreen were speaking and you got the sense that they understood us, they fucking booked.
That's what I was trying to kind of avoid, but yeah, I will.
just know that that's what. Why not? Smart.
No, you're role playing your character.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you,
You're doing you're doing
I don't know
great.
if they're having a hard time understanding, then I will reiterate what Nico said so that they understand it in their native tongue.
It's helping for sure.
Yeah, and
Sweet.
another thing Nico would also probably bring up is just not all smooth skins are bad.
We trade with smooth skins all the time. Council is good. You can speak to Queen. And they kind of just take you to where the Queen's at. Which, they don't give you an image of what she looks like. I do have a token of what,
I feel like that's an important image to put, you know?
Right. Oh, because I'm not on the right layer. So, here is a token of...
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah, right? So, with the Shaogan's gone. So you guys go over to the Queen's Lair. Or just put her over here. Takes over the whole thing. And you just see her just kind of picking at her teeth. Looks at you guys. Hello. Was not expecting guest.
Okay.
Just puts toothpick down. Kind of arranges feathers on her fin to make it sort of a little more presentable. Kind of grabs a little clay and starts putting it under her armpit to put some deodorant on. Hi. And to the shaman, they conducted the challenge of Mako in past. That would have been good for me to be aware of a day or so ago. Maybe we can work on that communication a little bit better. Yes, my queen. Thank you.
Wait,
Anyway.
did we come at a bad time? Do we need to come back later?
No, it's incredibly boring. No, please come in. Would you like some food? I know that and it's like thinking with heart. Elven folk and tiefling folk like your food cooked. We can cook some for you.
Okay, I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, you don't have the trouble with the cooking. I can eat the draw.
Oh, perfect. And she just kind of snaps her fingers, and you see from a corridor in the back, it just door opens, and a large catfish just gets brought in. And it takes you seconds. I'll say Tyreen and Serena are the first to notice, but in the corners are two poison-tailed lizard folk. They're much smaller than your average lizard folk. They would be considered like the halfling of the lizard folk community. Their tails in the tip end are completely black, and so they have these almost like bird-like black beaks as well. They're completely immune to poison, and they dip them all over themselves because that's kind of what they do. They're deadly, and it's almost like those are her personal guards, just hiding in the shadows, quiet, and drenched in poison. You had a came here to have counsel or word with me?
Yes.
Yes. How can I help our neighboring community?
Looks over to Serena and Tyreen, and Stranger just like,
So we this is as a player. We were supposed to be here to let them know about the shark folk, right?
Yeah,
And,
the shark folk are trying to manipulate them into
yeah.
attacking Saltmarsh.
Then
And all this wanted you to do was just talk to her and tell her don't do it.
yeah, I will basically do that, and yeah, I will say that about did we also, this is again as a player, we talked about sharing. I'm not sure if we ever talked about it, about sharing the ship that we encountered to them too, because the weapons.
You have all those weapons, up to you.
Because that weapons was supposed to go to the, how do you pronounce that? The Shogun.
Well, the intention was that the Shogun gave those weapons to the ghost ship to give to them as part of trade to convince them to attack Saltmarsh.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's what it was.
Because the story is dumb and convoluted.
Are we still giving that to them? I don't know if that was talked about too. But yeah, I'll tell like the insert name here because I can't pronounce that.
Hagen?
Yeah,
Sahagin.
that's Saga. That's why I like saying Shark Tribe, Shark Folk,
Sahagins.
Saghagans.
They're just using you and kind of manipulating your whole tribe to attack Saltmarsh. And once y'all attack Saltmarsh, they're basically all the blame is gonna be for the lizard folk, and obviously the as you call us the smooth skins that they will what was the word? Basically get revenge and come here to maybe eradicate you with numbers or whatnot. But
So
it's that they're trying to manipulate you to attack Saltmarsh.
So we do the work, and then we're the ones that get killed in whatever scheme they have.
Essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So why do they want us to attack Saltmarsh?
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I don't know if we ever got that information
As a DM to player, no, you have
as a player.
yeah.
Mhm.
DM to
Yeah.
player, no, you have not given that. Like, that's the plot of the campaign.
Well, why we don't know yet. We can't really tell you why. What we have. What is our proof? What was the two whatever Tabatha said?
Algwin.
Sahag.
Sahagins. Wing.
What did they talk about again? Like when they were speaking in their native tongue and the lizard folks were getting agitated.
That Captain Snake Eyes failed, and the ritual on the Master of Waves has also failed.
With that though, but that was spoken in their
native tongue.
Sahagwin speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
They well earlier when the Sahagwin showed up, they did start speaking in their tongue and were discussing kind of over at Serena, like, I might need a little bit of
Yeah, is she speaking common like
Yeah, she's speaking common fluently.
what's this called? Like fluently, like no not broken or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were speaking about some kind of ritual of the waves. What was that again?
The ritual
Something of the
on the
wave.
Emperor of Waves has failed.
Emperor of Waves. Whatever that means, but they were speaking in their own tongue as if they're trying to hide it
Which
and not be heard by the lizard folk.
I'll say that if anyone wants, you can roll a history check.
pet.
Nope, that's a 3.
Sorry.
That's a 10.
Sorry.
13?
13. It's a ship. I'll give you that much. Emperor of Waves is ship.
That sounds like a boat name.
Yeah, so whatever is mastering all this is focusing on Saltmarsh, or at least some of it. They're trying to blame the lizard folk until you guys got involved. Some of it had to do with Captain Snake Eyes, but you guys fucked that shit up. There was an attempted ritual on another ship. Apparently, that has failed. After you guys tell the queen all the information, and she gathers it and thanks you guys, and you guys eat uncooked raw catfish.
Sashimi, delicious.
Eventually, you guys will be escorted back to y'all's ship that later that night. Noted that the lizard folk tribe have no interest in leaving their waters or listening to any more of the shark tribe's communication, as they don't want to be implemented or used for anything.
I guess if we're getting or escorted back to the ship, Nico is going to go and find Tyreen.
If you ask around, someone will eventually point you to the direction, since the lizard folk community does not really do secrets, or if you just ask, they'll do.
Yeah.
So eventually you'll find her.
It's like, hey, we're heading back to the ship now. You okay?
Tyreen will kind of sit there and like she might give a little jump if Nico didn't walk directly up in front of her. But otherwise she'll sit there and she'll just reassure him like, oh, I'm fine. I just feel a little distracted. But I'm fine.
Did they freak you out too a little bit?
Yes, I'm not sure what to make of whatever it is that they said. It just doesn't sit well.
Yeah. Nico just kind of shrugs. It's just like, I mean, some of the culty nature is a little bit concerning.
Tyreen in her brain like, oh. Yes, that's certainly not good, not ideal. No. But it seems, I mean, they won't be interacting with them anymore, so that's good. No attacks on Saltmarsh, that's also good.
Don't know what the Sahagins would be planning though.
That's beyond me.
Yeah, they seem very frustrated, but
I mean, if they've been using the lizard folk for all the things they've apparently been using them for, and lizard folk, they've been getting it over on the lizard folk, and now they're not. I can understand why they might be a little displeased.
Figured they would be walking and talking while they would be.
Yeah.
I really do think I messed up by speaking, though, because they immediately knew that we could understand them.
I mean, if nothing else, it's on them. I got to be the person that says, as many of us speak multiple languages, it is more than a little foolish for them to think that there was no chance that anyone would know their language or speak it, magically or not. That is a little presumptuous.
Yeah.
What do you mean someone else is cultured?
Right. What do you mean they speak our language? No one's allowed to do that.
Yeah, he'll just make his way back.
As you guys make your way back to the ship, there are 3 days of ship being repaired, and some payments being made to the lizard tribe and other communities that are nearby. Plenty of treats and strawberries and toys being purchased for the rabbits. As
They should.
Buta's excitement has been displayed so well, they shook their tail twice this day. Such an excited individual.
Better write that down in the diary.
Mm-hmm. So much excitement for that one. I assume you told your captain all about what transpired on these past few days.
In extreme detail.
So much detail. Every
Definitely.
Sorry,
other-
you cut out. Sorry.
Definitely gonna mention, the Baron and the other Sahagins and whatnot, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's something that is to be considered, and Master Waves is an old-timey vessel from days of old of Saltmarsh. We can track it down, see if that leads us anywhere. We got supplies, we got food. We got a good old little crystal ball. Kind of looks over towards Nana. Kind of finger guns. Ha. Track down most ships that way. It's illegal to do it. Think we break some Geneva Convention or something, but it's fine.
Geneva, I don't even know her.
Yeah, I met her once. But sounds as good as any. Unless you guys have something better to do.
Heading back to Saltmarsh, or...
We can if that's what you guys want. But we can go hunt down this ship. And poke around, find out what's happening.
Get a little more supplies, but that's just me.
Well, one more time, sorry?
I said we can always just go back, port, get some supplies, but that's just me.
Oh,
Nico, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there are other ports
they got
in other places.
They got
I'm aware.
They got some supplies here at Dune. They paid the neighboring tribes and some of the communities for supplies. So food and water and fixing of the ship has been done. But other than that, if there's other supplies that you would like, then yeah, you might need to get...
It's okay if Saltmarsh is your safe space. You can say that.
Yep.
We're getting a tension headache.
Is there anything else that you would want other than food and water? Like material components or anything like that?
Don't believe so.
I think I have all the components I need today.
Double checking myself.
I could really do with a penile bone from a raccoon, but I can probably source that elsewhere.
Bone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, with that, I think we're going to conclude tonight's episode and make our way to the Emperor of Waves and poke around and find out what the fuck was up with that shit.
Mm.
It's going to be fine.
It'll be great.
So
think
great.
it's
It's
gonna
gonna be
be-
so much fun.
All good. Nothing bad's going to happen with that.
Such fun.
Such fun. All right, guys. We'll edit this, put it on YouTube, Spotify, etc. We'll see you in 2 weeks because next week is Rise of Tiamat. Adios, everyone.
Woo.
BB.
Bye.
Bye.